So over the past couple weeks, I was noticing that when I do my videos, I usually do like single bottle videos, first impressions, full reviews, or I do like 10 bottles from different companies for a top 10 list, but I don't really do buying guides. And so over the next few months, once a week, we're going to do a new series exploring different brands and all of their offerings, at least the ones that I have. And so it's going to be called, and again, once a week, Let's Get Familiar, a Buyer's Guide to, and today it's going to be a Buyer's Guide to GISADA. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, the 3 fragrances from the house of GISADA. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back with yet another new series on my channel where I'm going to be doing a deep dive into different fragrance brands and their different offerings, at least the ones that I have again. From indie to niche to YSL. I'm going to be doing it once a week until I just feel like I should stop. But I'm going to be doing brands that you might not have heard of. I'm going to be doing brands that you definitely have heard of, like YSL and whatever, Zaharoff, where even if I'm going to be talking about that, there might be 8 YSL Y fragrances, and one of them you might not know about. Like, a lot of people don't know about YSL Y Live and how it, even though it's discontinued, it's still on sale. Like, I'm going to be doing that kind of stuff just to give everybody an input into my favorites from the house, different aspects of the house, all that good stuff. But today, again, we're going to be focusing on GISADA. Next week, we're going to be doing Coastal Carolina parfums. But with that said, before we get into GISADA, make sure that if you're not already and you like my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like, takes 2 seconds. Comment below, let me know what your favorite from the house of GISADA is. They have 4 fragrances, GISADA Ambassador, GISADA Ambassador Intense, GISADA Titanium, which is the newest one, and the only one I'm not going to be talking about in this video is GISADA Uomo. I'll give you a little bit of an update on what that smells like, because I had decants of all the original 3 2 years ago, and then I sent them off to Ross. So I'll let you know a little bit more about Uomo when I get to that part of it. But with that said, we're going to be starting with the original, GISADA Ambassador. This is what all the bottles look like. On top, you have the GISADA symbol, and then it says GISADA Switzerland, what they're based out of, and then it has the name of the fragrance. Like this one says Ambassador Intense, and then Ambassador. The bottles are nice, hard glass. They have nice magnetic caps that you can actually hold the bottle up for, but just don't shake it. And then here is the atomizer. Not pressurized, but it does have a nice wide dispersal. So I'm going to give you the note breakdown for all of them, the other 2 as well, just so you guys can follow along with me. But the note breakdown for GISADA Ambassador, or should I say the main notes, because there's a lot of notes with these fragrances that I'm just going to give you the main ones that I pull from them. And so again, the main notes from GISADA Ambassador are apple, cardamom, mango, black pepper, and amber. And when people say, as soon as I smelled this, I hadn't heard what anybody had said about this fragrance before that. I just knew that there was a little bit of hype around this. Again, this was 2 years ago. I said that smells like a tropical sauvage. And to this day, if you hear somebody says it smells like a tropical sauvage, a mango sauvage, it's what it smells like. It's the best way to put it. There is cardamom and vanilla in every single one of these fragrances. That is basically the basis of this line. And then the DNA for the original, it has that tropical vibe on top. You get that black pepper that you get from Sauvage, as well as almost like an ambroxany feel. And then you also do get a slight metallic vibe in almost every single one of their fragrances. So I should say, like, the basis of this DNA outside of that tropical vibe is really that cardamom, which is like that warm spice with a little bit of a green tone. You get some of that pepper. You also do get the vanilla, and then this kind of metallic vibe. And all of them have that, just with amped up parts of it. Like the titanium is more on the vanilla. But anyway, GISADA Ambassador, the original. Pushes out really nice. Honestly, it has more character than the original Sauvage, so if you want something that's just more unique and if you're sick of Sauvage but you still like the DNA, GISADA Ambassador will do that for you. Just literally take Sauvage, add a little bit of this kind of mango apple mixture, and then you do get a little bit more of a spicy nuance, and then some vanilla in the dry down. That is what you get from GISADA Ambassador. It lasts about 8 plus hours. It's really nice, and it projects well above average for the first 3 hours, and then it starts to sit a little bit closer. But really, overall, the presentation of this, the magnetic cap, all of that, the scent, it's running about 60 to 70 bucks on Joma Shop. So GISADA Ambassador is very, very, very nice. Going into the next one, and all of these have this kind of like ambery backbone as well. The next one on my list is going to be the follow-up to the original GISADA Ambassador. This is GISADA Ambassador Intense. And this is where we're gonna be talking about GISADA Uomo, because both of these fragrances, I tried them out, and while both of them have vibes of Sauvage Elixir, which I didn't really understand, I tried both of them back to back, and I was like, this one is almost like if you took Sauvage Elixir, made it a little bit fresher, and mixed it together with a less fruity version of the GISADA Ambassador original. It's still, that's what you get with this one. It has this kind of licorice, nutmeg, but I will give you the main notes again. They are licorice, nutmeg, cardamom, vanilla, and amber. So again, amber, vanilla, cardamom, and then licorice, nutmeg. There's so many other notes. Again, I will put them over there if you want to see them. All of these have a bunch of notes, but this is my favorite from the house. And again, this is where we're talking about GISADA Uomo, because both of them have that Sauvage Elixir-esque base, where it's more heavy, has more of a like resinous vibe. You also do get those spices in there. Well, I find this a little bit closer to like Lattafa Assad because of that vanilla. It's not as dense, it's not as spicy. It really does remind me of those style of fragrances, only if you had the GISADA Ambassador DNA underneath it, minus that heavy fruity tone. And that's what this is. It is your night out version of the line. It's warm, it's spicy, but it has a freshness to it. It has that nice creamy vanilla in it. It's very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. It's ambery, it's rich, a little bit fougere-ish. But overall, it's my favorite from the house. If you like GISADA, or if you like the original GISADA Ambassador and you tried this, and you like Sauvage Elixir, just kind of picture those two into one. Just a little bit more fresh, and that's what this is. GISADA Ambassador Intense. While the Uomo didn't really hit the spot for me, it's kind of, it lacks character. I've been saying that a lot in my last couple of videos, but it does, compared to the Intense and the original Ambassador, even Titanium, it lacks that character that makes you go, wow, I need to buy that over the other ones. It adds a little bit more depth. It takes away a little bit more of that Ambassador DNA, and it gets closer to Sauvage Elixir, but being a little bit more dense, and it doesn't really get the spice right. It's still a nice fragrance. It just doesn't wow me. So, I mean, again, try out everything for yourself, but I haven't tried it in 2 years, so maybe my thoughts on it would be different at this point in time. But again, I don't have that. I only have these three. But again, the original GISADA Ambassador is the Mango Sauvage, while this is kind of like Sauvage Elixir or Lattafa Assad meets this, but without fruits. And it's really nice. It does have like a slight fruity tone though, just like Sauvage Elixir even has that almost like darker fruity tone. But that's, again, GISADA Ambassador Intense. Going into the newest one, this one came out here in 2024. This is GISADA Titanium. GISADA Titanium has a titanium fingerprint magnet bottle. Still has titanium written on the top. And the main notes for this are vanilla, cardamom, sage, lavender, and tonka bean. This one, it starts out very heavy metallic lavender, vanilla. It almost makes me go, and the opening for it is a little bit too much for me, because you guys know I'm not a huge fan of powdery fragrances. And in the opening here, it is very dominant powder. But as it dries, as it starts to dry, it really reminds me of this fragrance by the House of All Saints called Metal Wave. Because, and it's what that one is it's almost like the pages of an old book mixed together with vanilla, like a dusty vanilla. That's what this one reminds me of as well. And Metal Wave was also metallic. And that's what this is. It's a metallic, woody vanilla with a slight bit of a florally aromatic backbone. And that's what the All Saints Metal Wave is. And this one is the same, except for it doesn't really have that floral tone. It is a metallic fragrance at its core, heavy metallic. Even though in the note breakdown, if you saw it whenever I posted it, doesn't have anything about metallic tones or anything like mineral tones or anything like that. It has nothing about any metallic options. So maybe like one of the floral tones or aromatic tones might have a metallic vibe to it. I'm not sure. But Jada Titanium is aptly named because, again, it's metallic. It has that lavender in there, and then it also has this nice cardamom spiciness, again, just based on that DNA, but this one amps up that cardamom a bit more, and it amps up that vanilla to the top. So this is that base DNA. It's just really concentrating on that vanilla, that cardamom, and then it has that metallic tone amped to 1,000. So if you do like fragrances, for instance, it has vibes of like Parfums de Marly, Pegasus, but not really. I know people have been saying that. It has that powdery vanilla almondy smell to it, but just not as nutty, more metallic. This one actually has vibes of the Metal Wave, or if you've smelled the fragrance by Imaginary Authors, Memoirs of a Trespasser, or Replica Whispers in the Library, it has similar features to all of those, just heavy metallics. Again, like the pages of an old book. It's dry, it's dusty, it has that vanilla mixed together with a little bit of that spice from the cardamom, a little bit green, and then that metallic tone and a little bit of lavender. It's aromatic, but vanilla heavy, and the dry down is very, very, very nice. But it's not going to be for everybody. I can tell you that for sure. But that is Jada Titanium. As far as the performance, again, this one is 8+ hours. This one is like 12. This gets like 2 days on my skin, to be honest with you. But if you want to play it safe, it's like 10 to 12 hours for sure. That's Jada Ambassador Intense. And this one is actually just up there with that. These two are very heavy performers as far as the projection. This one might be a little bit denser, but this one, you can, for the first 2 hours, it's heavy. I mean, it's like elixir heavy. And same with this one. They're real strong. And this one's about 8 to 10 hours, while this one's 10 to 12 hours. But all of them, really, if you spray on clothes, are going to be on there for days. But out of all of them, all three of them are very nice, very easy wear. This one is more for the fall and winter. Definitely centered on winter for sure. This is more of your spring and summer, but all-season fragrance. And this is your all-season night out fragrance, leaning towards the cooler weather. And then Uomo is definitely cooler weather. But, yeah, my favorite is this, Jada Ambassador Intense. But it's all based on preference. I could easily see people saying this. I could see the younger crowd liking this more, though. And the older crowd liking this more. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you tried any of those fragrances, which one is your favorite? But that is the start of, again, let's get familiar, a buyer's guide to the House of Jada. Next week, we'll be diving into Coastal Carolina Parfums, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, indie brand. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back with another one.